Hi, my name is Arlene Miller. I lived for 20 years in a Palestinian Arab village on the West Bank of Israel. I loved it. I loved the people. To me, that is home. It will always be home. The first 10 years, we had no electricity. There were only one or two little tiny shops in our village, so there were a lot of things that we liked that we did not have, but that was okay. And I remember one day saying to Sister Margaret Gaines, the missionary that I lived with, "You know, Margaret, I would love to have some Russell Stover dark chocolate covered caramel candy." Well, there was none to be had in the country, so forget that. 2 or 3 days later, a big tour group came from the United States. They invited us to go into Jerusalem and have dinner with them. We went in and seated in the dining room. We had almost finished eating, and a woman that I did not know, but she knew about me, with the group, she came by and she said, "Sister Arlene, don't leave. I've got something in my room for you." And I thought, well, that's strange, but okay. Tourists would bring us a lot of things. She went up to her room, and in a while she came back. And as she approached the table, she had a gift-wrapped package. And she said, "You know, Sister Arlene, it's very strange. I went to a drugstore to buy some things for this trip, and I saw something, and the Spirit spoke to me and said, 'Buy that for Sister Arlene.'" I was already smiling. I knew the shape of that box. And this woman did not know me. She had never met me before in her life. She just knew of me. And I looked up at her and I said, "Dolly, I can tell you what's in that box." She said, "There's no way you would ever guess what is in this box." And I said, "Oh, yes, I would. It's Russell Stover candy." Her mouth dropped open, and I said, "Dolly, I can even tell you what kind it is." She said, "No way." I said, "It's dark chocolate covered caramel candy." I thought she was going to pass out. If you know, Russell Stover's box is usually a different shape than other candies, and I knew what it was. But to make that story more amazing, more than 20 years later, I was in Santiago, Chile. Debbie Minai was going to be interpreting for me in a sermon. And I was telling her this story because we always went over the sermon together to make sure she knew all the words in Spanish. And she was lying on her bed and had been studying my notes. And I'm telling her this story about the Russell Stover candy and what happened in Jerusalem. Debbie grinned. She reached behind her and she pulled out a box and said, "You mean candy like this?" And she had, which they don't have in Chile, Russell Stover candy. My mouth dropped open and she laughed and she said, "We don't like the dark chocolate covered candy, so you take all the dark chocolate covered candy." People, I wish we could really realize we go through many difficult things in life, and sometimes it's hard and we think, "God, why aren't you answering our prayers?" But God goes out of his way to let us see and know, I see you, I know you, I care about you. I may not be able to do something about the other things right now, but this is just to let you know I am here and I love you.